Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Di, and today I am bringing you my first knitting diary. I am currently working on a test knit, and I wanted a way to be able to document my progress on it. It is a new design by a new designer, so it's her debut design. The person I am talking about is Melanie Asato, and she has a channel here on YouTube, and she has designed the Ridgecrest Pullover, and I am lucky enough to be test knitting it right now. So a little bit about the Ridgecrest Pullover, and let me move over so that I can pop a picture for you to see it. The pullover is a bottom-up construction, and it will have two different necklines, two different sleeve options, and two different body lengths. There will be 9 sizes, so finished bust circumference of 39 inches to 71 inches. This sweater is designed to be worn with 8 to 12 inches of positive ease and is a fingering weight sweater. So I am doing size 5, and that will give me 8 inches of positive ease. And for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you have already seen my first progress shot of this. It, like I said, is worked bottom up, and it features a cast on that I am not familiar with. And so it was very interesting to learn a new cast on. You may or may not know, if you've been following me for a while, that I really enjoy learning new techniques while I'm doing knitting projects. And so having a new cast on to learn was very interesting. And thankfully, I was able to pick it up very quickly. And it was the most number of stitches I think I've ever cast on for any project. The number of stitches that I cast on rivals the amount of stitches that I cast on for my father's color block sweater. I think this one has more. I can't be sure, but I have a feeling, or I feel like this one had more stitches. I also don't normally knit projects for myself or garments for myself that have this much positive ease in it. But because I am doing a test knit, I am trying to stay close to, if not on, instructed directions. So I am working this project in Knit Picks palette yarn, and the color is Rainforest Heather. Let me see if I can pull out a ball band for you. So it is Knit Picks, here we go, palette in Rainforest Heather. This is a fingering weight yarn. It is 100% Peruvian Highland wool, 230 yards and 50 grams a ball. So this is what it looks like. Not sure if you're getting a really good look at the color because of where the light is hitting, but it is a hunter green with colors of like purple and teal and a little bit of blue and yellow. It's really pretty. And so I just happen to have a sweater quantity of this already in my stash when I was accepted to test knit this garment. So, like I said, I have already cast it on. But let me talk about the swatching process for a little bit. I will normally swatch for garments especially. That being said, I don't ever swatch it blocked. I will always swatch dry. And that's normally because for me, when I swatch things, it does get bigger, so I'm not concerned with the fact that my garment might grow a little bit. So yeah, I normally swatch dry. But for this one, I did swatch it blocked. Because I am test knitting, like I said, I wanted to stick to the directions. So when I first swatched, I swatched it continental with a size 4 US knitting needle, which is a 3.25 millimeter, I think. 3.5 millimeter. And it came out way too big. I could tell just by looking at the fabric. It was very airy, and because I had already seen what the sweater looked like from Melanie's podcast and on the picture that was released with her her call for test knitters, that fabric wasn't going to work. So instead of going down a needle size, I decided to try to knit my swatch English style. Now, I can knit both continental and English. I did learn how to knit initially in the English style. And so it's not a big problem for me to go back and forth between the two styles of knitting. That being said, I have mostly been knitting continental in the recent years, especially on garments and large projects, because I do have a problem with pain in my hands, and it is faster. At least I perceive it to be a faster process for me when I'm knitting continental. So obviously continental knitting wasn't going to work for me with this needle size, which I thought was really funny because I am working on a project right now, my Clipped Crows Fly Again sweater, which is also a fingering weight sweater with a size 4 US needle, 3.5 millimeter. I am actually using the same brand needle, which is a Knitter's Pride Zing. For this project, I bought another set of interchangeable needles for this project because I didn't want to unscrew my needles from my Clipped Crows Fly Again sweater in order to do this one. So I did buy another set of tips, and it's the same exact needle, but the fabric on my Clipped Crows Fly Again sweater wasn't anywhere near as airy as I was getting with the palette yarn. And I think it's because palette is only a 2-ply construction. And for the Clipped Crows Fly Again sweater, I am using Cascade Heritage. And that feels plumper. And I believe that's 4-ply. So yeah, it was really interesting how airy my swatch was. But in any case, I switched to English and I worked the swatch. The fabric I was getting was much nicer. So I went ahead and blocked it and got gauge. So very happy with that. And then cast on. So like I said, it was a new cast on method to me. I cast on all of the stitches, my very first try, but the cast on was way too tight. As I was coming back on my first row, I was having a very difficult time stitching those cast on stitches into the first row. Plus it had twisted, and because it was so tight, it was unbearable to work. So I decided to frog the whole cast on and try again. Second cast on was much better, but I was 6 stitches short. So I had to take them all out and cast on again. Third time's a charm. I got it. The cast on was not too tight. It was perfect as I was working my first row of stitches, and it's been off to the races ever since. So let me show you what I have so far. This is what I have so far. I've got about 5 sections, I think. You can see that it is a ribbed design, just makes the fabric extra squishy, and I'm really liking the texture. And the multicolors in the yarn, even though I don't think you can see it from far away, when you get up close, it's just so interesting to see all those little colors pop out of the green. And I'm really enjoying this knit so far. So I think that's all I'm going to talk about as far as the project goes right now. Now, as far as this Knitting Diaries series goes, it's basically just going to be a Yarnie update, but on one singular project. And this is my first one. Because I did want to spotlight this project, I do hope that I will have more in these of these Knitting Diaries for you for other projects, but for right now I'm just going to concentrate on this one. And so what you can expect to see following this like introductory clip will be little snippets of maybe my progress shots, and just me talking about my knitting process along the way. So nothing specific in regards to what I am giving as feedback for the test knit, but just my my progress along the way in regards to this project. So yeah, I'm really excited about this test knit, and I have been enjoying it so far. And I think I'll cut this clip here. So I'll see you in the next one. So it's been about a week since I checked in with you last on the progress of my Ridgecrest Pullover, and I've done quite a bit of stitching, so let me show it to you. Last time I showed it to you I was here, and so I am now up to here. It's about 6 sections, so that's about 3 repeats of the pattern that I've done. So stitching wise, it's going a lot faster than it did when I checked back in with you last. And yeah, I mean, it's a really easy stitch pattern. I'm not really having a problem. There's not much to say. I do have about 2.5 inches more to go before I split for the sleeves. And then things should get exciting from there. This is worked in the round right now, but when I split for the sleeves, it'll be worked back and forth for the front and back panels. And then I'll attach the shoulders and then work the sleeves. So I am on my 3rd ball of Knit Picks palette, Rainforest Heather. I just started this one a little while ago, I think maybe 3 rows back or so. So with 3 balls, I have quite a bit of fabric, so that makes me really happy. And yeah, I'm still really loving this color. I think it's going to look great when I'm done. And I'm just happily stitching along for right now. I think that's all I've got to say. Stitch pattern's really easy. I'm not having any problems. Nothing really much to say, just stitching and stitching and stitching. It's not a pattern that I can just stitch without looking at because I'm constantly moving the yarn back and forth. I do have to keep an eye on it, so I'm not at that point yet where I can watch something that's subtitled like a Korean drama or an anime or anything like that, but I am stitching away when I can. while I watch American TV shows. Next week I will be on vacation, so actually I've got one more day of work after today, and then I'm on vacation for an entire week, so I should be able to get a lot more stitching done during my time off. And yeah, anyway, I hope you're all doing great, and I'll check back in with you again soon. Hi everyone, I'm back with another update. I am not going to be showing you my face this time. I am at home with things that are going on in the world right now. I have moved to working from home, and so I don't have my normal setup or my normal lighting, so I just thought I'd pop in and try to show you as best I can what I've been doing on my Ridgecrest Pullover. It's been about almost 4 weeks since I checked in with you last. I have been stitching away on this diligently. Every day I've been stitching on this, but there's not been much to say about the progress that I've made. So I've kind of hit a milestone in the sweater today, and so I thought I'd pop on and just show you where I'm at. So let me pull out so that you can see. I am handheld, so I apologize if it's a little shaky. So as you can see, I have finished the body of the pullover. You can see where the stitch marker is. That's where I checked in with you last. So that was the front panel. I worked the front to the shoulder and then put that on a holder, and then worked the back and to the shoulders, stitched up the shoulders, and did the collar this evening. So now I've only got 2 sleeves to go. I have tried this on and it does fit well, so I'm super excited to have this done. This has been just like mindless knitting pretty much. There's no real shaping until you get to the shoulder, and so I could just stitch away as I wanted to. And yeah, so I think I'm on track to finish by the time that the test knit is required to be completed. At least I hope so. I've just got the 2 sleeves to do, and I've got about 10 more days. I think I can do it. So yeah, I'm really happy with how the pullover is turning out and my progress on it. And so that's about all I wanted to pop in and talk to you about. Like I said, in my real life, I am working from home, and so things have been pretty normal for me as far as home life. Working from home, I did that about a year ago, and so it's not much different from what I had done last year. So yeah, anyway, I hope you are all healthy and doing great, and I will check in with you again when my sleeves are done. Talk to you later. Hi everyone, it's been a while. As you can see, my filming area has changed. I am at home, and I normally don't film at home, but with the situation being what it is, I have set up this little filming nook so that I can share with you my progress on the Ridgecrest Pullover. This is my manga library in case you're interested, but this is a knitting channel, so we'll talk about knitting right now. I haven't checked in with you for a while, and that's mostly because I didn't have a filming area to film updates in. I do film a lot in my office because it is quiet, I have great lighting, and all the space that I need. As it is right now, this is about all the space that I have to film. I don't have a big home, and so that's why the updates on this video have been sparse. I did film a couple weeks ago, but I don't know that I'll be including it in this video. If you did not see a clip of the sweater, just the sweater, not my face, if you didn't see a clip of just the sweater, then I didn't include it. But that was probably because the lighting on that video was really bad. And you probably wouldn't have been able to see anything if I did put it in. But anyway, I have finished my Ridgecrest pullover, and I will pick it up for you here. Oh, let's see. Here we go. So this is my Ridgecrest pullover. I had done it in Knit Picks palette, the Rainforest Heather colorway, and I really like it. I think the last time I showed it to you, if I didn't include the clip before, I was somewhere over here in the front. But I have done the front, I have done the back, and then I have done the sleeves. So I did go with the bell sleeve option. Not sure that you can see that. The detail of the ribbing is really great. I really like that texture. It was a relatively easy knit. It's all ribbing, like you can see. I did do a 3 needle bind off here on the shoulder, so let me see if I can you see that? So I did 3 needle bind off, and then did the bell sleeves. So these sleeves have no decreases, and I do have it clipped in the back here because my bust is a little too narrow in the shoulder, and so because the scoop neck is pretty wide, I had to clip it so that it would stay on the bust. It is 97 degrees here today, and I did intend on wearing this for you when I had filmed for it, but 97 degrees doesn't agree with knitwear, and I do not have air conditioning in my house. So you get it on the bust, but I think it looks great. I did go with the full length option, and even for me, the full length option is a little short. Had I not been knitting this, I would have made it a little bit longer in the body, but because it was a test knit, I wanted to be as close to the instructions as possible. This pattern did offer me a couple different new things to learn. The first thing being the cast on. It was a long-tailed tubular cast on, and I've never done one of those before, but the references that she offered in the pattern really helped a lot, and I was able to do it relatively quickly. The second thing that I learned were German short rows. I had never done German short rows before. Every time I had done short rows on a project, I did the normal wrap and turn method, and so this was definitely a learning experience, and as you know, I do love to learn new things while I'm knitting, so that was great. And the German short rows were so easy. I don't even know why I didn't think to look into it before. The instructions that she gave were very easy to understand as well, so that was great. And I think from now on, that's going to be my go-to short row style. I don't do a lot of patterns that require short rows, so that's probably why I never really looked into it. But I find that more and more now that I do sweaters, there are more patterns that I'm interested in that do require short row shaping. So that's a great thing that I now have in my arsenal. The only thing that I didn't do to pattern was the length of the sleeve. The length of the sleeve I had to cut way short because if I had made it as long as the pattern had suggested, it would have been longer than my arm. I ended up, I think I cut it in a quarter. So the way it lands on me, it's like right past my wrist. And it's a great length for me. I have worn it. I have taken pictures in it to send to Melanie. And so I will put this down for right now. And I will pop in the photos here so that you can see what it looks like on me. I'm very happy with it. The color is great. It's the first time I worked with the Knit Picks palette, and I really enjoyed it. The only thing I think is that because I was just working with the one yarn all the time, it started to irritate my hand, and I'm not sure if that was because I've been washing my hands like a lot, or if it's because the yarn was just taking a lot of the moisture from my hand. I did use lotion all the time, especially when working on this, because the soap that I have is really drying, and then whenever I work with wool, my hands get really dry. But this yarn, and because I only worked on this one project exclusively, from the time I started it to the time I finished, I know it had to be this yarn. But my hand would get like swollen and a little bit irritated. The palm of my hand where I was like holding onto the garment and stuff. I don't know what it was, but as soon as I finished the project and took a day off from it, my hand was fine. So I'm not sure. Have any of you had that experience working with a yarn? I don't think I'm allergic to yarn or wool. I've knit a few sweaters now in wool, and I wear wool socks, the ones that I've knit for myself. So I don't think I have an allergy, but I don't know for sure that it's this yarn or not. I have worked with Knit Pick Stroll before, and I don't have a problem with that, but because I was working with this yarn exclusively, I think I might have an issue with it. Though, it didn't start really bothering me until I was close to the end, so I'm not sure. Maybe, maybe not. Let me know if you've had any issues like that with any yarn. I would be interested to know. But yeah, right now my hand's fine. I'm loving this pullover, and I don't really have specifics for you at this moment because I'm not sure when this pattern is going to get released. With everything that was going on, I don't know that it'll get released when she intended on it. So I don't want to give you any specifics. As of right now, there are several sizes, and like I said, 2 neck options, 2 sleeve options, and 2 body options. And I think this is going to be a great project for a lot of people. I do plan on making one for my daughter. Not at this moment because, like I said, I did work on this monogamously, and that was new for me. I haven't worked on a project monogamously in a very long time. And so I kind of want a little break from it before I do one for my daughter. But when I do one for my daughter, I'm going to go with the crew neck the decreased sleeves and the full body length, because that's more her style. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. And let me pick it up for you one more time so you can see. The color is just great with the sheen of purple in it. I will be back with one more update when the pattern is released with all of the details. So yeah, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy, and I will be back in a bit with all the details regarding the pattern release. So the release date of the pattern has been announced. It is May 3rd, which is also the day this video should be posted. So I will link everything down in the description box so that you can check the pattern out. Again, the pattern is the Ridgecrest Pullover by Melanie Asato. This is her debut design. And off the Ravelry page, I will give you the details of the pattern. So the sizing is from 39 inches to 71 inches finished bust measurements. So there are 9 sizes in the pattern, and it is recommended that you wear the design with 8 to 12 inches of positive ease. This is a fingering weight design, and as I mentioned before, there are a couple choices you can make between the length of the body, the type of sleeves that you want, and the neckline. So those are cropped or regular body length. I made the regular body length. There is the crew or scoop neck. I made the scoop neck. And there is the standard sleeve, which has decreases, or bell sleeve, which has no decreases, and I did the bell sleeve. So another cool feature of this design is that in the back of the pattern, there is a table with all of the different combinations of neck and body and sleeve options, so that you can see for which size and which options that you want, how much yarn you're going to need. I ended up using 7 skeins of Knit Picks palette yarn, again in the Rainforest Heather colorway, and that was about 1,732.5 yards, again for the full length scoop neck bell sleeves in the size 5. I do hope that you will all check this pattern out. Again, it was a very easy knit. I did learn some things along the way, and I really enjoy my finished item. It is too hot again for me to model it for you today, but I did post some pictures over here on the side, and I hope that that is at least a little helpful for you. There are other test knitter pictures up on the Ravelry page, so definitely go check those out as well. We all have different colors, and we all use different types of yarn, and each one of us did a different size. So go take a look, give some love to the pattern. Melanie also runs a YouTube channel here, as I mentioned, and I will link her channel down in the description box below. And that about wraps up this knitting diary. Let me know if you enjoyed this type of video. I don't test knit a lot of designs. This was one that really spoke to me at the time, and so I applied to do it, but I don't actively go out and look for test knitting projects because it does take a lot of work, and I don't always have the time to dedicate to them. But that's not to say that I won't apply for some test knitting spots in the future. I could also do this type of video on some of the other projects that I have planned, including the City Limits pullover, which I talked about on my latest Yarnie update video. And so if you'd be interested in seeing more videos like this, definitely let me know. So that's about all I've got to talk to you about today. I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.